Happy morning, children. I feel extremely glad to welcome you all for this wonderful online learning. We have come to the end of this month and we are going to do our October monthly test. So, let me revise the portions for you to get prepared for the exam. To begin with, let me move to lesson number 5, Taxonomy and Systematic Botany. So, this lesson has got 5 answers, 6 questions, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So, let's start with the first question. What is the role of National Garden in conserving biodiversity? Discuss. So, we are going to discuss about the importance of conserving the plants, and in that conservation, what does the garden, how does the garden play an important role? We have got some 6 to 7 points regarding it. You can find it in the opposite page of table 5.1 National Botanical Garden. In that you got the role of botanical gardens. So here you will be having some 7 points. I have marked the points. The first one is gardens have aesthetic values. So that will be your first point. Gardens have aesthetic values. And the second point would be gardens supply taxonomic material for botanical research. So this would be your second point. Gardens supply taxonomic material for botanical research. Third point, garden is used for demonstration purpose. So that would be your third point. And fourth point, it can integrate informations from various fields. Fifth point, it acts as a conservation center for biodiversity. And sixth point, it offers annual list of available species and a free exchange of seeds. And the last point is, it gives information about method of propagation, sale of the plant material to the general public. So these are the roles of a botanical garden. So gardens play very important 7 roles, and that is what we have seen it. It is in the page opposite to the figure Royal Botanical Garden and opposite to figure 5.1 National Botanical Garden. You got a heading called Role of Botanical Garden. Okay, fine. Let's move to the next question. Question number 7. Where will you place the plants which will contain 2 cotyledons with cup-shaped thalamus? Okay, this is regarding the classification. We are going to discuss about the plants with 2 cotyledons. Fine, children. Let's move to the Bentham and Hooker system of classification. We have studied about it. So, this is Bentham and Hooker system of classification. In this is found in figure 5.6. You can find calciflorae. Okay. Calciflorae. Let's leave it, but before that we'll go to the descriptions of the nodes. Here you have thalamiflorae, you have disciflorae, calciflorae. So what is calciflorae? It includes plants having flowers with cup-shaped thalamus. So cup-shaped thalamus is calciflorae. So calciflorae is a series. Now let's look and find out where is calciflorae. Calciflorae is here. So calciflorae series, calciflorae. This series calciflorae comes under subclass Polypetalae. So Polypetalae comes under class Dicotyledonnae. Class Dicotyledonnae comes under seed plants. Okay. So the classification would be kingdom seed plant, class Dicotyledonnae, subclass Polypetalae, series calciflorae. Is that clear, children? You will be writing only 4 points, but I am explaining the answer. Kingdom seed plants, that is Plantae, class Dicotyledonnae, subclass Polypetalae and series calciflorae. So this is the answer for the question number 6. Now let's move to the next question. How does molecular markers walk to unlock the evolutionary history of organisms. Okay, how does molecular markers? So we have to know what is molecular markers. Okay, it's found in page number topic 5.11.5. Okay, 5.11.5 is molecular taxonomy or molecular systematics or molecular phylogenetics. So let's move to the second paragraph. The result of a molecular phylogenetic analysis are expressed in the form of tree called phylogenetic tree. So how are they used? How are they helpful in finding the evolution? The very first answer is by the phylogenetic tree. Is that clear? So that would be our first point. Second point, the various markers. Different molecular markers are allozymes, mitochondrial DNA, microsatellites, RFLF, RAPD and AFLP, SNP, microchips or array. You will get some 8 markers. They are called the molecular markers. Carefully go through this. So 8 to 9 markers are there. I have just only said the short form, not the expanded one. So these are the molecular markers. Let's discuss with the first one. Third point will be RFLP is a molecular marker of genetic analysis of the length of fragments of DNA following cleavage with restriction enzyme. So this will be your third point. Fourth point, AFLP. Okay, that second paragraph. AFLP is largely used for population genetic studies of closely related species. This will be your fourth point. So fifth point, in random amplified polymer, the next page you have got RAPD, like microsatellites, may often be used for genetic studies. So these are the 5 points for the molecular markers. How do they help in the classification? So you will find it in the topic 5.11.5. Second paragraph you got 2 points, and in the opposite side in RFLP 1 point and AFLP 1 point second paragraph, and RADP second paragraph you got another point. So this should be the answer for it. Now let's move to the next question. Give the floral characters of Clitoria ternata. So Clitoria ternata is nothing but Sangupu. We have to explain about the Clitoria ternata floral diagram. So floral diagram starts with inflorescence. Okay, you have to write inflorescence, flower, calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium, fruit, seed. Okay, so inflorescence is solitary and axillary. Flower is bractate, bracteolate, bracteoles usually large, pedicellate, heteroclamidous, complete, bisexual, pentamerous, zygomorphic and hypogynous. In calyx you have got sepals 5, syncephalous, green, showing valvate estivation, odd sepal in anterior in position. Corolla, petals 5, white or blue, appospetalous, irregular, papillineous, corolla showing dissentingly imbricate estivation. Androecium, stamen 10, diadelphous, 9+1 stamen, fused to form a bundle, and the 10th stamen is free. Anthers are dithecous, basific intros and dehiscing by longitudinal sit. Gynoecium, monocarpellary, unilocular with many ovules on marginal placentation, ovary superior, style simple and incurved with feathery stigma. And fruit is a legume, seed is non-endospermous, reniform. Along with the notes, you need to draw this floral diagram, which we have already discussed. You will have to draw the floral diagram and write the floral formula for this answer. Is it clear, children? So you will be explaining all these characters. So if you feel this is a big answer, you can write at least 3 points for each character. For flower 3 character, for calyx 3 character, for corolla 3 characters, androecium 3 and gynoecium 3 would be sufficient. Now let's move to one very important and interesting last question. How will you distinguish Solanaceae members from Liliaceae member? Okay, we are going to differentiate Solanaceae from Liliaceae. For this, in the Solanaceae, that is 5.13.2, you got the diagnostic features. Okay, about the leaf, flower, calyx, stamen, you got the diagnostic feature. So compare these diagnostic features with the diagnostic features of the Liliaceae. In Liliaceae, that is 5.1.3.3, you got Liliaceae diagnostic features. Okay, it is a perennial herb, radial leaf, perianth showy, stamen 6 and ovary superior. So you can compare both this and prepare of your notes. So this is about your 5th lesson. I hope you all will enjoy revising your answers, gain knowledge and try to score more marks in your exams. Thank you, children. All the best for